Hi Leo, welcome to Sophquest. My name is Spence. Welcome back if you're a subscriber, and welcome in if you're brand new to the channel. This is going to be a weekly reading for you for August 9th through the 15th. We are basically in between that new moon in Leo that we just had on the 8th, Lionsgate, and the full moon, the second full moon in Aquarius that we're going to have in a couple of weeks. So right now, I think these energies are preparing us and helping us to adjust to the changes that we're making with that new moon, and helping us to close out and let go of the cycles that we're letting go of with those two full moons in Aquarius, right? So Leo, I know that you know this pretty well because this is your season. I know you're feeling this energy more than most, right? This is your Leo Aquarius axis energy. So it's an auspicious time for you. If you did not listen to your Leo Lionsgate message from the new moon last week, that message, you might want to listen to it because that was your new moon at Lionsgate. That's pretty big. I don't want you to miss that one. Happy birthday, by the way, to all of you that are having a birthday this week. And today I am going to be using the new Palladini Tarot by Palladini and the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krans. Gorgeous, both of them. I'm going to pull one archetype card for you and read from the guidebook, but first, while you settle in with me, I'm going to lay out your 9 cards. Did plenty of shuffling before I turned on the channel, or turned on the camera. So I'm just going to cut now while you're taking a few deep breaths, planting your feet, and getting ready to just take some time for yourself, all right? Get some oxygen to your brain, lower the cortisol, bring up your serotonin and dopamine. Some good, clean oxygen to the brain. Makes you feel better, right? Drop your shoulders, get comfy, and settle in. All right, Leo. While I look at your cards and take this big message in, I'm going to shuffle and pull for you one of the archetype cards as well. All right, Leo. Well, see your own energy here, moving and grooving, looks like. Maybe making decisions in love. Been seeing that for you for weeks. I'm going to grab this deck. Whoops, there we go. All right. I think you've been weighing out definitely whether or not you're ready to have kind of a big conversation with somebody about what's the next phase. What do we do now? How do we move this forward? How do we do what's best for us? How do we do what's best for ourselves and for each other? And trying to understand your own feelings. I think that maybe you're looking at a very complicated relationship. You're also exhausted right now, I can see. I think you've been working really hard, or maybe you've just been carrying something for a while that you need to talk about. And you've been going back and forth over whether you can talk about it, maybe. So we'll take a look. So let's pull an archetype for you, Leo. The desert. Okay. The desert, Leo. All right, that is number 37. Looks like that. I love these archetype cards. We all have all of the archetypes. We all play them out throughout our lifetimes. And at certain times, it's good to take a little bit of an inner look at what archetype is showing up for us in our lives and why, right? Here we are, the desert. The drought, the wasteland, the badlands. Okay. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We can be thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. You know, Leo, I wouldn't blame you if you said to yourself at any time this Leo season, oh, if only I could just enjoy my birthday, right? But life isn't the same as it was just a year or two ago, really, right? We've been through lockdowns, everything with COVID, things changing on all fronts in every way. And so I can understand if your life feels a little bit like a desert in some ways, because we've all been a bit devoid of many of our norms, of the things that we used to really enjoy doing, including, and most especially, connecting with others and spending time together, right? And having fun. You know, it's been hard to do that for everyone. So I get it. I really get it. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright, and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. So maybe a surreal, strange silence is happening for some of you out there. And maybe it is the time when you can have these great visions. We just had Lionsgate. And if this is what Lionsgate brought you, if at first it may not necessarily feel like a gift, but it is. And maybe in hindsight, 5 years from now, even a year from now, you may look back and say, oh my gosh, I am so grateful for that time when I was walking through the desert and there was nothing else in my purview. I couldn't see anything but the stars. I couldn't hear anything but the sound of my own thoughts. Because in the desert we find wisdom, right? It's the 40 days and 40 nights in the desert kind of analogy. So right now I think is a time of wisdom and learning for you. So, you know, for some of you, I think that you've been dealing with this in relationships. For others of you, maybe just in your own energy, you haven't felt your normal drive and passion that you feel, or maybe your normal confidence, because life has felt so dry for you lately. And you're wanting those life-giving waters back in your life, and I get it. On the bottom of the deck, I'm looking at the Knight of Wands, or the Knight of Rods in this deck, which is you. It's your energy, fire energy. You moving forward, wanting to bring up your energy, wanting to move forward, wanting to charge ahead in your life. With the Queen of Swords, it's also with a sense of clarity, and yes, vision. And trying to see and understand what this feeling has been about, this feeling of lack. Now for some of you, it could be financial. There could be some financial lack, and telling yourself the truth about it. Maybe wanting to run away from it and not think about it. I know a lot of people have been going through, you know, many different job changes, especially in the last couple of years. So many people are going through that, and I understand that that might be happening for you. Let's go through it. We're going to go horizontal, vertical, and big picture. Hang in there with me, okay, Leo? Hang in there, because these kinds of messages do tend to be the ones that actually, in the long run, help the most, believe it or not. So take heart, Leo. Take heart, okay? Knight of Cups. This is love. This is moving forward in life with love. It's having sensitivity and usually an open heart. But with the Page of Swords, it might also say that you want to be careful with what you say, okay? It's that you may have fully good intentions from your heart, but depending on what you're saying may depend on the result that you get. So then we have the Two of Rods, because somebody is looking at a crossroads here and trying to figure out which way to go. So maybe you're asking a lot of questions. Maybe you're trying to understand what's going on in your relationship and seeing that you might have a divergent path here. And if that's the case in some of your relationships, or in one relationship in particular, you may be making a choice. You may be looking at going on a new pathway. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean breaking up. It certainly can. Some of you out there are going through that, I'm sure. Others of you not. So let the reading resonate as it does. Don't make it fit, right? Don't try to make it fit for your life. Let it resonate how it resonates for you, because only you know what it means for your life, and you can take it in that way, right? And we all have free will, so it's about what you feel and think about your own life. So you're looking at a relationship, you're looking at perhaps a crossroads in a relationship and having a conversation about it with that top row. Then we have the Justice, and we have 10 of Wands, or the 10 of Fire, and the High Priestess. So I think that with the High Priestess, this is always about trusting our intuition, about our inner knowing, our inner guidance. And, you know, this is not usually a very communicative card. It's like you know things deeply, you're trying to trust your intuition deeply, but you don't necessarily know because you've talked about it and you have all the facts. This is just an inner knowing. It's a feeling, all right? It's a gut feeling. And one of the things that you are definitely feeling is a burden. You're feeling the weight of something. It's been very difficult to carry. So if you're holding on to a secret, that's been a hard thing to carry, especially if that secret has been about something that has anything to do with anything legal. If this is a marriage, then about a marriage. If this is about a divorce, then it can be about that. But this can be holding on to secrets. Okay? In the center of the reading today, we have the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Fire. This is a heavy load. It's the center of your reading, and you're carrying it. And you are most certainly wanting to move forward now. And I think talk about it, or at least understand what it was, what the lack has been about, and what needs to be said or let go of or released. In all fairness, in order for peace of mind, you know, in order for you to be able to move forward, to make progress, you want to make progress. Now, I have to say, these two cards, Justice and High Priestess, are major arcana, so it's a pretty pivotal time. And with this in the center of those two cards, it's a heavy weight. This is, you know, big jobs here. This is big inner work. I think that you are really looking at how this relationship, if it's a relationship, has changed. And you're trying to see it with new eyes. I think you're trying to understand what went wrong, or how it got to be so heavy of a burden, or a heavy load to bear. And now maybe you're considering opening up lines of communication, because if that is the case, communication is the bridge, isn't it? Communication is always the bridge to healing, to intimacy, to resolution. And if you needed conflict resolution, then the bridge toward resolution is going to definitely be communication. And I think that's what you're wanting here with the Page of Rods. This is, in your energy, again, the fire suit, and this is about a message. So whether it's coming from you or to you, this is a message that you're going to be weighing out. What do I do, or how do I do this? What do I say, or how do I say this? Because I want it to be genuine and from the heart. I want to be sensitive and loving and caring and honest about it. Because then we have the chance here to drop all of the burden of what's being carried and allow for the freedom, the freedom for emotions to flow in a way that feels real and comfortable and honest again. Let's go down the vertical now. We have the Nine of Cups, the Justice, Knight of Cups, Justice, and Page of Rods. So this is, I think, news coming in hopefully with an open heart and with justice, with honesty. This is honest, open communication from the heart, right? That's, I think, what the encouragement here is, because in the desert, I don't think there's been enough for you. I don't think there's been enough communication. I don't think there's been enough love. I don't think there's been enough truth, one way or another. And even if this is just, if you're not in a relationship, and Leo, this is about a relationship with yourself, right? Our most primary relationship is with our own soul. And your soul, inside of you, you feel that desert, like you're just, like things are dry and meaningless. That's what you're trying to figure out. What's the weight? What is this that I'm carrying? Why can't I feel happy? Why can't I feel more enthusiastic? Why can't I feel more alive? Right? Okay, so down the center row we have the Page of Swords. This is also communication. Can be a little sharper, can be an uncomfortable truth. It can be immature in the way that it's spoken. So with the sword suit of air or thoughts and the rod suit of fire, you know, this is speaking from the heart. It can be just blurting. These are the two pages that would blurt. So in Leo season, because Leo can be very fiery, you might want to be careful how things are said, because that could just might add to the burden, you know, might add to the burden and not bring the healing waters that you want in the desert. You're weighing it out. You're saying to yourself, okay, so how can I talk about this? First of all, with the Page of Swords, you want to be honest with yourself. You have to recognize that you are carrying this load, okay? And it has become unbearable. At the 10, it can no longer be bared. It's unbearable. So it's time to make the choice to decide what you're going to do about it. What am I going to do? What seed am I planting? Where am I going to grow and progress further in life? And that's the Two of Pentacles. You know, it can be juggling things, but it's usually about what decision am I making here? What am I doing? What am I going to do? The Two of Rods, again, where am I going? What am I going to do? With these two twos, you are definitely looking at doing something new, going down a new path. With this, trying to decide where you're walking next, where you're going, or who you're going with, if this is about partnership, and seeing, well, which road am I taking? I don't think you've talked about it yet with the High Priestess. The High Priestess can be very secretive. It can be inner knowing, but it's not usually something we talk about. But I think you want to be sensitive. I don't think you want to be harsh with these two pages. I don't think you want to blurt anything out. But I know for a fact, looking at this in the center of your reading, keep staring at me, that you can't bear it anymore. With this and this, you cannot go through this dry desert and bear this any longer. So I think these three are the most important cards. The Justice, the Ten of Fire, and the High Priestess. If you have been carrying a secret, then the Justice card is begging you to do the right thing and speak about it. If you've been carrying the burden of not wanting to just tell the truth about how you feel, I think it's saying that if you don't, it's going to come out anyway. With these two pages are very youthful message bearers, right? So it's going to come out. It's going to come out in Leo season, because you're going to get triggered, something could happen, and you might blurt it out. Because you're already thinking about it and you're already weighing it out. With these two cards, the Knight, though, of Cups and the Queen of Cups, you care and you want to be sensitive. So this is the advice, is go inside yourself and ask yourself from your heart how you want to move forward in life now. What do you truly need so that you can drop this burden and move forward being yourself again? Being yourself again. because a truth is necessary here. There is a need for you to communicate. 100%. The Queen of Swords knows the truth, speaks the truth, no holds barred. And the Five of Pentacles is about being in need. There's lack here, and the Desert's about lack. And so you've got to move forward in your truth, speaking it out loud for your own heart and soul and peace. That's what I'm seeing here. All right, Leo, whatever this is about, for whomever I'm speaking to today, I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. Remember, eventually you get to the oasis. Eventually it rains, okay? This is a blip on the map, and you'll get there. You will get there, all right? If this message did not resonate with you today, then check your moon and your rising sign or your Venus, and you will find your message there, probably, I think. Okay? I'll be here for you next week. You take care, Leo. I'll talk to you then. Bye.